Well, a special report for you tonight. Many families are living paycheck to paycheck with nothing to pass to their families but debt. This problem is disproportionately affecting minorities, especially African Americans in the state.
NBC Local 33's Rachel Riley has that story.
At first, I felt resentful because I'm like, how could you not plan for the future?
Diamondisha Brown grew up as a quiet child. Her mom passed away with cancer when she was just 3 years old. Her father was killed in a construction accident.
He literally had worked himself to death because he was called to do a two-man job, and it was just one of him.
Frustrated and confused, just 19 years old, left with no money and a baby on the way.
When my mom passed when I was 3, he had misused a lot of my Social Security. So I watched, him poorly manage money. When I was finally of age 16, that's when I started managing it, and he gave me the card, and it had $0.
Brown's life took a turn for the worst. Her father died, and the debt became a burden that she couldn't carry.
I was taking out student loans, and then I necessarily didn't have a plan for these things. I was just using it for personal because I felt like this free money.
After hitting what seemed like rock bottom, she worked on getting her life and her finances together, something she says wasn't an easy task.
As I began to educate myself, I always used to be like, dang, I wish I knew then what I knew now. Like, I wouldn't have been so much in a hole. I start to realize that, I couldn't fault him for what he didn't know.
She got certified as a credit consultant at the start of what she felt like was her purpose.
I really got certified to help myself first. I became my first client.
Now the mother of 3 runs her own financial business, working with nonprofits and business owners to help educate minorities and underserved communities on financial literacy.
It's crazy when people, we define your target audience. Well, I was my target audience at one point. I was my ideal customer at one point because that's who I attract now.
Brown felt it was important to pass on her knowledge.
You pay for what you don't know, and I feel like because I lacked the financial literacy, it's a lot of mistakes that I made.
Primerica Regional Vice President Mary Bellinger says Brown is not alone. A large portion of Black Americans end up in a similar financial situation.
We make ignorant decisions, not necessarily stupid decisions, but we make ignorant decisions because we don't know.
Bellinger says Black Americans are already starting at a disadvantage, making 86 cents to their white counterparts' dollar.
Doesn't mean we can't catch up, but we're starting from behind in a lot of instances, and that's just a fact.
Bellinger says the cycle of debt and financial illiteracy continues to happen until people take control of their lives and find out how money works.
If we never get our priorities straight, we'll never get our financial lives straight, and that financial literacy and financial empowerment just doesn't happen for our communities.
Bellinger says sometimes financial illiteracy is a learned behavior passed on from generation to generation to survive, just like Brown's family did. But having access to resources can change somebody's life.
If we were more financially literate, we would know to live a little bit below our means, to pay ourselves first, to be sure that even if you can't accumulate $10,000 at one time, start some kind of little savings aside.
Poor financial management, it affects you physically, mentally, emotionally.
One person in that family makes a change, and there is a ripple effect.
The decisions we make can either impact our lives in a negative way or a positive way.
Rachel Riley, NBC Local 33 News.